Hey everyone, before we dive in, please hit that subscribe button to join my channel and stay updated with more stories like this one. I never fantasized about storybook weddings or doodled my name paired with made-up surnames in my high school journals. While other girls perfected their signatures with little hearts dotting the I's, I was tackling algebra problems and tracking my earnings from my after-school job. By the time I turned 33, I'd climbed the ranks to senior analyst at a leading Chicago financial firm. I owned a sleek condo, had a 401k I could explain in detail, and cherished the quiet. That calm, orderly silence was my sanctuary. My younger sister, Helen, couldn't stand it. "You don't even own a manual toothbrush," she teased once. "You've banished all the mess from your life. It's practically dull." She might have had a point. Still, I wasn't prepared for her to ambush me with a blind date. "His name's William," she announced over lunch one afternoon. "He's a former colleague, kind, great in the kitchen, and get this, he's not fazed by ambition." I nearly sputtered my sparkling water. But William wasn't the disaster I braced for. He was steady, genuine, and listened in a way that felt real, not rehearsed. He'd recently left his marketing career to focus on what lit him up: cooking, keeping a home, and volunteering at a nearby food pantry. His world was the polar opposite of mine, and it was precisely what I didn't realize I craved. 6 months later, we tied the knot. Our marriage wasn't conventional, but it clicked. William handled our home with joy, while I brought in the income. I earned the paycheck, he brought the heart. We flourished in our roles, even if the world, especially his mother, Amelia, didn't get it. Amelia never warmed to me, and she wasn't subtle about it. Her disapproval was sharp and loud. "You're always working. What kind of wife doesn't cook for her husband? That shirt's too stiff. Don't you own anything cozy?" My William loved my meatloaf. "Has he even tasted yours?" William tried to soften the blows. "She just needs time," he'd say. "She's afraid of being alone." But time only honed her barbs. To her, I was the thief who'd snatched her dutiful son. Our happiness didn't matter, only that I didn't match her vision of a proper wife. Then came the invitation to William's younger brother Jeremy's wedding, a weekend affair at a rustic mountain lodge, complete with candles and mason jars straight out of a Pinterest board. William and I confirmed we'd go. I even bought a new dress. Helen was floored. "You're taking a whole weekend off," she gasped. This is one for the record books. But 3 days before the event, I woke at 4 a.m., doubled over in agony. William found me crumpled on the bathroom floor, clutching my stomach, soaked in cold sweat. "Hospital now," he said. The ER was a haze of monitors and sterile curtains. A CT scan revealed a bleeding gastric ulcer, likely triggered by stress, worsened by too much coffee and missed meals. I was admitted immediately. 5 days minimum, the doctor ordered. Bed rest, no standing, no travel. William squeezed my hand. "I'll tell everyone," he said. "They'll understand. Just focus on healing." I nodded. "Especially your mom. Please don't let her think I'm bailing." "I'll handle her," he promised. By day 2, fluids had dulled the pain, but boredom was relentless. I begged William to bring my laptop. "Just emails, maybe a spreadsheet," I swore. "Nothing intense, just to keep my mind sharp." I was tweaking a report when the hospital room door flew open. Amelia strode in, commanding the space, her tailored coat pristine, her purse gripped like a weapon. Her gaze scanned the room before locking onto me, her eyes narrowing. "You look perfectly fine," she said coolly. "You're sitting up, typing. What's the crisis?" "Amelia," I replied, keeping my voice even. "Why are you here?" "I'm here to remind you the wedding starts at 2 p.m. tomorrow. We expect you there by noon." I blinked. "I can't leave. William told you I'm hospitalized, right?" "He mentioned some ulcer nonsense," she said. "You're clearly capable, so stop faking." "I'm not faking. I'm on 4 fluids. I can't walk without help." She folded her arms. "You're on a laptop. If you can type, you can ride in a car." I shut the laptop. "This is a hospital, Amelia. Please keep your voice down. Don't lecture me about respect," she snapped. "You're humiliating this family, skipping your brother-in-law's wedding." "Who does that?" I exhaled slowly. "Someone under strict doctor's orders to stay in bed." "No," she said, voice rising. "Someone who doesn't care." Someone who hides behind work and health excuses. Her words sliced through the sterile air. The patient in the next bed stirred behind the curtain. Amelia leaned in, voice low and venomous. If you don't show up tomorrow, Maya, don't bother staying in this family. In fact, divorce William. If you can't honor family, you don't deserve him. My chest tightened, not from pain, but fury. Are you serious right now? Deadly. I pressed the nurse call button, holding her gaze. What are you doing? She demanded. Having you escorted out, I said calmly. You're disturbing other patients. A nurse appeared seconds later. Ma'am, she said firmly, you need to leave now, or I'll call security. Amelia scoffed but retreated, shooting me a final glare before storming out. The door clicked shut like a gavel strike. I sank back against the pillow, heart pounding. I didn't cry or scream or reach for my phone. I could have texted William, spilled everything, let his mother's chaos derail the wedding. But I didn't, not because I feared his reaction, but because I believed he deserved a peaceful weekend with his family, even if it meant I had to grit my teeth in a hospital bed while my mother-in-law attacked our marriage. I opened my laptop again, its glow filling the dim room, but Amelia's words rang louder than any monitor. This wasn't over. Returning home from the hospital should have been a relief, but the moment I stepped inside, tension gripped my chest. The air felt heavy, cold, as if something had already shifted, and I was catching up. Then I saw her, Amelia, seated at our kitchen table like an unwelcome guest who'd claimed the space. Her posture was impeccable, hands neatly clasped, a steaming coffee cup untouched beside her. Her designer handbag sat at her feet like a silent threat. I froze in the doorway, my legs still shaky, my stomach tender. William hurried over, gently taking my bag. You're home, he said, his smile warm but his eyes darting nervously toward his mother. He helped me out of my coat and settled me on the couch, draping a blanket over me as if to shield me from the chill Amelia brought. I made soup, he said. Ginger and lemon, still warm. Before I could respond, Amelia cleared her throat sharply, the sound jarring. We need to talk, she said. I knew this wasn't about soup. She reached into her bag and, with deliberate slowness, pulled out a thick manila envelope, sliding it across the coffee table toward me. My name was printed in bold capitals. William frowned. Mom, what's that? The next step, Amelia said, her hands folding neatly. My stomach, still raw, sank. Divorce papers, she said plainly. Silence crashed down, heavy and bitter. William stepped forward. Are you serious? She made a promise, Amelia said, nodding at me. If she skipped Jeremy's wedding, she'd leave the family. I'm helping her honor that. William's face twisted. You did what? She came to the hospital, I said softly, 2 days before the wedding. Barged in, told me to get dressed and show up or get out of your life. He stared at me, horrified. Why didn't you tell me? Because you deserve to enjoy the wedding, I said, not get dragged into her drama. Amelia scoffed. Drama? I was saving your reputation. A wife who skips her brother-in-law's wedding, sitting in a hospital bed with a laptop, claiming she's too sick. I was hospitalized with a bleeding ulcer, I snapped. Doctor's orders to stay in bed. You were upright, she fired back, typing like it was a vacation. If you can work, you can show up. That's called priorities. William's voice was low but firm. You crossed the line, Mom. I protected you, she hissed. She's turned you into her servant, cooking, cleaning, folding her laundry. What do you get? Exhausted glances and tax documents. Enough, he warned. But Amelia leaned in, voice cutting. She's not a wife. She's a leech. You've forgotten who you were before her. No, I said, standing despite the ache. He discovered who he is. I picked up the envelope, my fingers trembling as I flipped through the pages. Every form, every line, every signature space meticulously prepared, like a contract waiting to close. I looked at William. You want proof, Maya? I grabbed a pen from the table and signed, my name looping across the page like a line in the sand. I slid the papers toward him. There. I signed. Your turn, not on paper with words. Right now, not later. Amelia smirked, arms crossed. He doesn't need to think. He's my son. William opened his mouth, but she cut in. I raised him. Every bruise, every fever, I was there. I shaped him. You just swooped in and took the credit. You think money gives you control. I stayed quiet. So did William. Amelia pressed on. You're a parasite. You don't cook, don't clean, work 80 hours a week, and expect him to pick up your slack. My son deserves a wife, not a roommate with a calculator. I felt William tense beside me. I turned to him. I've never asked you to choose until now, but you can't keep playing peacemaker between two people pulling you apart. He closed his eyes, breath shallow. Amelia stepped closer. Sweetheart, don't do this. You know I only want what's best for you. William opened his eyes. And what if she's what's best? Amelia flinched. You're not thinking straight. I am, he said, voice steady. For the first time. Her voice shook. She's turned you against your own mother. He looked at me, then her, and said firmly, no, Mom. You did that. Amelia's face twisted with anger. She turned to me. You've brainwashed him. He cooks for you, cleans for you, serves you like a maid, and you, what do you even do? You sit back like some entitled queen. My pulse steadied. I met her gaze. No, Amelia. He doesn't feed me. I feed both of you. The silence was deafening. Amelia's mouth opened, but no words came. Her eyes flicked between me and William, searching for a counterattack, but he stayed silent. He knew it was true. I didn't need to explain, but I did, calmly, clearly, so she couldn't pretend to misunderstand. William quit his job before we married. His choice. He hated the corporate grind, the stress, the pressure. I told him, let me handle the money. You build our life. That was our agreement. Amelia blinked rapidly, like she was trying to shake off a bad dream. I continued. For 3 years, I've paid the rent, utilities, groceries, the gifts you showed off to your friends, the checks you thought were from him. That was me. Amelia, I budgeted you like a household expense. William winced, but didn't contradict me. I paid your gas bill, your HOA fees, covered your overdraft twice this year, and the catering for Jeremy's rehearsal dinner. That was my card, because your son asked and I helped quietly. Amelia's face paled. But he sent money every month, she stammered, for my bills. Yes, I said, because I gave him a budget line called Mom. She stared at her hands. The silence now wasn't tense, it was defeated. You painted me as a burden, I said. A leech. But you've been dining at my table all along. William spoke, voice soft. I was going to tell you, Mom. I didn't want to embarrass you. Amelia whispered, I didn't know. That was the point, I said. I never asked for gratitude, just kindness. She stared at the floor. Why didn't you tell me? Would it have changed how you treated me? I asked. Would knowing I paid your bills make you see me as family? Her silence answered. William stepped toward her. Mom, we've tried. But this can't go on. You've made Maya feel like an outsider in her own life, and I've allowed it. That ends now. Her eyes glistened. You're cutting me off? I'm setting boundaries, he said. What you do with them is your choice. A long pause followed. Then Amelia's tone shifted, fragile, pleading. I'm sorry, she said, voice breaking. I didn't realize I was hurting you both. I thought I was protecting you. I didn't see the whole picture. She turned to me. Maya, you're right. I shouldn't have gone to the hospital or brought those papers. I was scared of losing my son, thinking you were pulling him away. I studied her, the quivering lip, the slumped shoulders. It might have felt genuine if I hadn't heard this tone before, after every line she crossed, every time she got caught. But the issue wasn't her sincerity. It was that I no longer cared. I hear your apology, I said, but I don't trust it. Maya, please. I'm not asking for anything, Amelia. You demanded divorce, ultimatums. Now you have them. William nodded. We're moving. Her head snapped up. What? We've been planning it, he said. Maya needs space to heal. So do I. We found a place. Lease starts next month. And we're not sharing the address, I added. Her face crumpled. You can't mean that. We do, I said. She stood abruptly, as if she might grab the papers or storm out. But she didn't. She just looked around, taking in the reality. This wasn't her home, her son's life. It was ours. She had no control here. When you're ready to respect us both, William said, you can call. Until then, this is goodbye. She didn't speak, didn't cry, just gave a faint nod and walked to the door. It closed softly behind her. That was the last time she stood in our home. 3 weeks later, we moved to a charming brownstone 2 neighborhoods away, farther from Amelia, closer to my office. William took a part-time job managing a community garden, which he loved. I dropped a few clients and started leaving work at 6 p.m. instead of 9. We learned to slow down together. Helen visited our first night, bringing wine and snacks. "So, it finally went down, huh?" she said. "Not a blow-up," I replied. "More like a clean break. No chaos, no vengeance, just freedom." As for Amelia, word spread that her other sons had also distanced themselves. Apparently, Jeremy's new wife didn't take kindly to Amelia's complaints about not being invited on their honeymoon. When she learned Amelia tried to sabotage our marriage that same weekend, she cut contact entirely. Last I heard, Amelia was still in her oversized condo, alone, sending cautious holiday texts. William replied courteously, nothing more. She'd spent so long trying to control her children that she forgot how to simply love them. And love, unlike guilt, isn't something you can demand.